HOA sold Soldier's ranch. While he was serving his country, Army took back everything. Imagine serving your country overseas, putting your life on the line only to return home and discover your ranch, your land, your everything was sold by the HOA without your permission. That's exactly what happened to one Army veteran. But here's the twist. When the Army found out, they didn't just fight back. They took every single house the HOA built on his land. What happened next left the entire neighborhood in shock. Stick around, because you won't believe how this battle turned into a victory for one soldier, and a lesson for every greedy HOA. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because this story will blow your mind. Marcus Johnson, a decorated Army veteran, grew up in the quiet countryside of Texas. After years of service, he invested his savings into a beautiful 20-acre ranch, a place where he dreamed of building a home for his wife and children. The land wasn't just property, it was his sanctuary, a piece of freedom he fought hard to protect. But life in the military meant long deployments. When Marcus was sent overseas, he trusted that his ranch would remain untouched until his return. What he didn't know was that the local homeowners association, led by an ambitious and greedy president named Karen Whitfield, had set their sights on his land. To the HOA, Marcus's absence was an opportunity. While Marcus was defending his country, the HOA filed false paperwork, claiming his land was abandoned and ripe for development. Before long, bulldozers rolled in, and houses started going up on land that wasn't theirs. After a year-long deployment, Marcus finally returned home. He couldn't wait to drive up the dusty road to his ranch, imagining his kids running in the fields. But when he arrived, he froze in disbelief. Instead of wide-open land, he found a brand-new neighborhood. Streetlights lined the once quiet dirt road. Houses stood where his barn used to be. Families sat on porches, on his land. His ranch, his dream, had been stolen. Marcus confronted the HOA office, demanding answers. With arrogance dripping from her voice, Karen, the HOA president, smirked and said, "You were gone too long. We assumed you didn't want the land. It's been repurposed. There's nothing you can do now." Marcus clenched his fists but didn't explode. Instead, he calmly walked away, because what Karen didn't know was that Marcus had friends in powerful places, friends who wore uniforms just like him. Marcus contacted the Judge Advocate General's office, the legal arm of the U.S. Army. Within weeks, military lawyers began digging. They discovered that the HOA had committed fraud, falsified documents, illegal land transfers, and shady backroom deals with developers. Then came the turning point. Because Marcus was an active-duty soldier, the Service Members' Civil Relief Act, SCRA, protected his property from exactly this kind of theft. The HOA hadn't just broken the law. They had violated federal protections for military personnel. The Army didn't hesitate. Armed with court orders, military police and federal marshals showed up at the neighborhood. Families who had unknowingly bought homes were given notice. The land belonged to Marcus. Every single house built on his ranch was repossessed. The Army seized the property, and the HOA faced lawsuits that drained their accounts dry. Karen, once smug and untouchable, now sat in court, facing charges of fraud, conspiracy, and theft. With his land restored, Marcus finally built the home he had always dreamed of. The Army and community rallied behind him, raising funds to help rebuild the ranch. Neighbors who once lived in stolen homes even came to apologize, admitting they had no idea what the HOA had done. As for the HOA, their reputation was destroyed. Karen never held power again, and the organization dissolved under the weight of lawsuits. The neighborhood became a reminder of what happens when greed goes unchecked, and when a soldier refuses to be silenced. Marcus often stood on his porch, looking across the open fields. His land was back, his family was safe, and justice had been served. For him, it wasn't just about property. It was about honor. And in the end, the Army had his back, proving that no HOA could ever take away what a soldier had fought to defend.